In Dceased War of the Undead Gods, we flash back to Krypton's final moments as Kara, Supergirl, is sent to New Genesis. Her parents' recordings tell her about Kal-El on Earth. Unaware, New Genesis has fallen to the anti-life infection. Upon arrival, Kara is attacked and turned by the infected New Gods. On Earth 2, the heroes, armed with a cure, head to the sun to save Superman, who's been absorbing solar energy for 5 years. Supercharged, he's nearly unstoppable, but they manage to subdue him. Boom tube opens, and Clark Kent emerges, cured, reuniting with his son, Jonathan. Meanwhile, Big Barda and Mr. Miracle head to New Genesis, unaware of its fall. Later, John and Clark defeat Brainiac's forces, but Brainiac, nearly destroyed, warns that the dead gods are coming, threatening the universe. Barda and Scott arrive on New Genesis through a boom tube, shocked by the ruins of a once beautiful world. The only thing left standing is a dark portal. As Barda investigates, the Black Racer appears, pulling her away and explaining that it's a doom tube used by the infected to travel between worlds. Entering it would infect any living being. Meanwhile, Darkseid, now infected, is terrorizing Korugar, leaving destruction in his wake. Sinestro, aboard Warworld, prepares to defend his home. On Brainiac's ship, the heroes doubt his warnings until he offers them Kandor, the last Kryptonian city, as proof. Brainiac explains his life's mission is to collect knowledge, and if the infection isn't stopped, there will be none left to obtain. On Korugar, Sinestro and the Yellow Lantern Corps fire a massive beam of yellow light, but Kyle Rayner and Saranic, Sinestro's daughter, stop him, thinking he's attacking the planet. Before Sinestro can explain, an infected Supergirl blitzes them, infecting Warworld's deadly computer. It fires, obliterating Arkillo and wounding Saranic. Sinestro blocks a second shot and warns that Darkseid is coming. Despite their combined efforts, they cannot stop the apocalyptian god. Darkseid kills Sinestro as Kyle and Saranic flee to warn the Corps. Sinestro's ring flies to Darkseid, granting him both godly powers and the power of the Yellow Lanterns. As our story continues, we flash back a few weeks to meet Adam Strange, a human from Earth who was teleported to Rann via Zeta beams. He built a life there with his family, but his time on Rann is inconsistent due to the unpredictable nature of the Zeta beams. During a war on Rann, he's suddenly transported back to Earth, landing in Gotham. In his search for the next Zeta beam, he encounters Wonder Woman, unaware that she's infected. Diana infects Strange, who unknowingly commands his equipment to take him back to Rann. Once there, now infected, he seemingly converts his family as well. In the present, Thanagarians attack a planet where Lobo happens to be visiting. They storm the bar he's in, but Lobo, enraged, kills the infected attackers, revealing his immunity to the infection after being sliced without effect. An alien recruiting warriors to fight the infection hires Lobo, who accepts the job. Meanwhile, back with the survivors, they hold an Amazonian funeral for Diana, but are interrupted by Ares, the god of war. Ares warns them of the impending arrival of the new gods and the forces behind the anti-life. He offers the heroes weapons and armor from his collection, informing them of a dark entity known as Erebos. Alfred relives the day he had to kill Batman, Tim, and Nightwing, haunted by the guilt of not knowing there was a cure. Leslie Tompkins and Damian console him. Meanwhile, John and Damian fly off to meet the Guardians, armed with new information from Brainiac. On the planet Elmarak, the people flee from the infected horde, but their queen, Maxima, stays behind to fight. Despite her efforts, she is overwhelmed and infected, joining the ranks of the undead. On OA, the Guardians order the Corps and heroes to stay and protect the central battery, allowing Darkseid and the infection to continue wiping out planets. Superman protests, but when the Guardians threaten to imprison him to prevent him from rejoining the infected, a fight breaks out. Superman breaks free from a lantern construct and knocks out a Guardian with a single punch, but is blindsided by 2 lanterns. Cassandra Cain retaliates, attacking them. Damian realizes Ares' influence is fueling the aggression, releasing them only when Mr. Mangsu's bulk appears, ready to defend his favorite hero, Superman. Barda, Scott, and the Black Racer join the survivors on Oa, where Mr. Mizptulk warns Ares to stop interfering with Superman. The Guardians, upon learning about Erebos, order all Green Lanterns to guard Oa, but inform the heroes that Kilowog's home planet, Bolovax, is under attack. Kilowog, Superman, several lanterns, and Mxyzptlk fly off to help. They arrive to Chaos, and Superman is ambushed by a Kryptonian cousin he's never met, only to be struck by Darkseid from behind. Mxyzptlk confronts Darkseid, but is corrupted by a mother box, transforming into a giant monster. He kills Kilowog and Jon Stewart, destroys Bolovax, then reaches Oa and destroys the central battery. Lanterns across space begin dying, but the Spectre rushes to repair the battery just in time and fights Mxyzptlk. Lobo begins fighting the infection as Superman witnesses Bolovax's destruction. He tries to console Kyle, but locks eyes with Darkseid, an anger building in the Kryptonian before he subsides it. They rush into battle as cosmic entities clash, and the Lanterns are killed trying to assist the Spectre. Heroes learn the infection has corrupted Scott's mother box, summoning the new gods to attack. John, Damian, and Dinah hold off the infected as Thanagarians, and Maxima arrive via doom tubes. The Spectre loses ground, and Mxyzptlk rips out Jim Corrigan, killing him and warning Superman to save the universe. Highfather overwhelms Damian, but Alfred's anguish transforms him into the new Spectre, his eyes glowing green with vengeance. In a shocking display of power, he kills Highfather with a single punch. Lobo arrives on Oa as heroes struggle against the infected hordes. Scott Free is attacked by his son, while Barda finishes off an infected Adam Strange. Damian starts succumbing to the infection, and Alfred, now the Spectre, mysteriously departs on a mission. The Supermen battle Darkseid, who is now empowered by the Yellow Lantern Ring, making him even more dangerous. Brainiac falls to the infection and races to spread it to his stored worlds. But Cyborg is prepared. In a fierce battle, Cyborg merges with Brainiac's systems, becoming a more powerful version of himself. He asks Lois where to find Kandor as Warworld fires on Oa, but John blocks the blast. Thousands of Kryptonians emerge to join the fight against the infected. Alfred returns with Earth's cure, and they begin restoring the infected. Lobo, thinking quickly, forces the cure into a restrained Darkseid, who begins to revert, demanding, "Who did this to me?" They plan to stop their hearts to simulate death and enter a doom tube to confront Erebos, the source of the infection. Ares mocks the plan, but Hippolyta encourages him. Ares and the Black Racer will distract Erebos while the others fight. After sharing final goodbyes, the team takes their positions as Cyborg initiates the heart-stopping process. Once inside, they find the giant Erebos waiting. Ares charges, and the heroes wound the godlike figure as Damian and Cyborg arrive. Cyborg realizes the life equation has been removed. Damian reveals he hacked Cyborg, implanted the life equation into himself, and set Cyborg to retreat. Glowing white, he shares final moments with Alfred and Jonathan before exploding with life energy, killing Erebos, and creating a new universe. The story ends with Alfred recounting his days visiting this new universe, missing his family, as he gazes at a constellation